Well, praise the Lord, everybody. God bless you. Heaven smile upon you. It is good. It is definitely good to see so many of you on today. Let's get right into our daily devotion. The daily devotion for today comes from Second Timothy chapter number 1 and verse number 12. In this passage, Paul says, "For which cause I also suffer these things. Nevertheless, I am not ashamed, for I know whom I believe and am persuaded that he is able to keep that which I have committed unto him against that day." I want you to notice the first part of this verse where he says, "For which cause I also suffer these things." For which cause I also suffer these things. Some of the trials that we face have a purpose. Some of the trials that we go through, there is a purpose. However, some of what we go through does not have a purpose. It's just life. You know, there's some people that assign spiritual meaning to each and everything. You know, when they wake up in the morning, God tells them to have frosted flakes. God tells them this is a raisin bran day. Some folks, right? But not everything we go through has a spiritual purpose. You know, some of it is just life. You know, when you are at a certain age, you know, we blame the devil, but you know, it's the devil doesn't have anything to do with me turning 55 on Monday. It's just aging. Some people are going through trials, and there's no spiritual connection to dementia or Alzheimer's or arthritis. You know, you just have arthritis, and we can rebuke the devil, but the truth of the matter is, it's just Arthur. Hello, somebody. Sometimes you have a car wreck, and it's just a car wreck. Sometimes there is a failed idea, something you tried to do and it didn't work. It just didn't work. It's not, you know, a spiritual thing. It's just trial and error. It's just life. But then there are those things that we go through that are absolutely a matter of God. There are those things that we have to endure, those things that God chooses not to prevent. You know, God could have prevented that. God could have not allowed that. God could have delayed that. But because of his will or his divine purpose, God allowed it. Of course, I'm thinking about the Garden of Gethsemane, where Jesus says, if it's possible to let this cup pass. And he had to conclude, nevertheless, not my will, but thy will be done. Because Jesus understood in that moment that what he had to go through had a purpose associated with it. And that's what we see in our text today, where Paul realized that what he was going through, for which cause I also suffer these things. Nevertheless, I'm not ashamed, for I know whom I have believed and persuaded that he is able to keep that which I have committed unto him against that day. Paul comforted himself by understanding what he was going through had a purpose. And some prayers we don't pray, but here's a good prayer to pray. Pray this prayer. Ask God to give you a purposeful perspective. You know, ask God, is there a purpose associated with what I'm going through? Because there are times, just as God revealed to Paul, for which cause I suffer these things, sometimes God will show you why he allowed you to go through what he allowed you to go through. And you look back on it later and you can say, that's why the Lord allowed that. That's why this happened. That's why I had to deal with that. God reveals these things to us. And when God reveals them and God gives us a purposeful perspective, that purposeful perspective will add value to our lives. It will add direction to our lives. Because instead of being bitter about what happened, you become better because it happened. Instead of getting mad about what happened and staying mad, you become glad about what happened. The songwriter said, when I look back over my life and I think things over, I can truly say that I've been blessed. There is a testimony. Some of our greatest testimonies come from our greatest trials. And if we're not careful, we'll miss the whole testimony because we're angry or lamenting the trial. So what's your homework? Your homework for today is very simple. Your homework is remember that God has his reasons for some of the trials we face. God has his reasons. You may not always know them, but he has his reasons for some of the trials we face. So ask God to reveal them to you. And even if he doesn't, just remember, God has his reasons. And because he has his reasons, I know it's going to work to my good. My brothers and sisters, I'm out of time, but I want you all to tune in tonight at 7 o'clock for Bible study. We're still talking about family values, and you don't want to miss the Bible study for tonight as we continue to help each other to have better families. So please continue to tune in to our daily devotion. Like and subscribe this. It's not too late for you to like and subscribe and share this daily devotion. Like and subscribe and share it and be a blessing to all of your social media friends. I'm out of time. Remember, there is no fear when you live in the kingdom because we have the victory.